I was waiting for the host to let me in. I don't know how that works.
I'll let you in.
Oh,
Okay, we have a list here. All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the November meeting of the Mira Mesa Town Council. Somebody's got some background noise. Okay, we're going to dive right in and get to our agenda items. We have invited the two candidates for Assembly Office District 77. Pam, is June Cutter with us?
I do not know.
I don't see her.
Okay, well, we'll move on to the groups then. Mira Mesa Town Council has invited two groups to speak to us tonight. These are organizations who work in the community, and we're going to hear more about them. First one will be the Mira Mesa Women's Club, and I believe, is that going to be Martha, or is that going to be, somebody else was here looking for them. Susan, are you going to handle that?
Martha
Okay.
is.
That will be me.
All right, Martha, tell us about the Women's Club.
Well, I wanted to start off a little bit with maybe a little bit of history about Women's Club, because I don't think most people know when we were formed. Women's Clubs actually was formed in 1868. We are an international organization, volunteer women. It was started by a lady named Jane Cunningham Crowley, born in 1829. She lived in New York. She was a journalist, and she went to a gathering honoring Charles Dickens. She wanted to get in to be a part of that. They turned her away because she was a woman. So she decided that was not the right thing to do. So she started actually women's clubs. So we are known as the General Federation of Women's Clubs. And California became part of it in 1890. And we are one of the three largest states, along with Florida and Texas. We have just over 10,000 members this year in California alone. And we have 18 districts and 242 clubs.
Do you want me to call you if it's something interesting?
So, you know, that is a lot of volunteer service going on.
Oops.
And one of our very first projects in California was India Women's Club started the white line down the middle of the highway. Dr. June McCarroll, she was driving her horse and buggy, and she kept getting run off the road. So she decided, I'm going to take white paint and paint it down the middle. And so that started the white line down the middle of the highway. So that's just one of our very big things that we at Women's Clubs has done. That was in the early 1900s. So now up to modern day, today, Mira Mesa is one of 17 clubs in this area. We stretch from Mira Mesa to San Ysidro, Lakeside, La Mesa, East County. And this year and next year, I am the district president. So I am learning how to lead 17 clubs. I was San Diego district president a few years ago, but that was only 6 clubs. That was a much easier job to do. So this one keeps me busy. But we are all full of community service, even during this COVID time. Everybody's been making masks. They're still working in their community, supporting the different groups. So that's really awesome. We're still busy and active. Now, Mira Mesa, we are starting three top projects for Christmas. We are working on putting 45 food baskets together. Part of those food baskets will be going to Walker School. We've been doing this for about 4 years now. We started out at 10 baskets, and it keeps growing every year, a little bit each year. One year we decided to do 20, and then we decided to do 30, but now it's up to 45. So last year we were able to put a gift card in every basket, and we contacted Vons, and they matched our gift cards 100%. And then they let us fill the baskets in their parking lot. So that was really a big thing to do. It was really awesome. So we're hoping to match that this year. The next one we're doing is we have adopted a family. It's a single mom with 2 twin girls. And she went home from work one day and she found that her partner had cleaned out her entire apartment, her entire home. So she has nothing. So we're planning to do something for Thanksgiving and Christmas to make it a little better year for her and the kids. The twins are 4 years old, I believe. So our next biggest project for this year is Wreaths Across America. We've been doing that for several years. We put wreaths on the each stone in the Miramar National Cemetery. Those wreaths are $15 each, but when we purchase 2, we get a third one free. A lot of people that do that project, it's a fundraiser for them, so they collect the third one free, but we are turning it back into another wreath just so that we can lay more and, honor our heroes, our veterans that have given so much of their life for us. So that's kind of pretty much where we are for right now. Does anybody have any questions for me? I do want to take this opportunity to thank Pam for inviting me and sharing this. Pam, you have a question?
I do. A question for you, or maybe for Susan, because I think she's the one in charge. The ongoing project that I think is wrapping up as far as Women's Club involvement of the Veterans Mail Call to get letters to veterans that Honor Flight San Diego will get to them somehow. I don't
That
know.
will be Susan.
Yeah, you can get them to me, and then I can get them to Denise Austin. She's coordinating it for all of Mira Mesa. So I think between what we've done, what the Boy Scout troop's done that is working with us, and a lot of other people, we'll have close to 700 cards.
Ooh, great.
Yeah.
And I saw something on the Women's Club Facebook page about it, and that's why I wasn't sure if there was still time to get things to you, because I think you had wanted it in by Sunday. So
Right. And what happens is she changed the day she was meeting with the person who coordinated this whole thing and put it all together. So I can still accept stuff till Thursday afternoon.
perfect.
That's great, Susan. I will have a stack for you then too.
Oh, great. Okay.
Okay, great. And I know the flyer said something about some sort of a parade drive-by thing, but it didn't have any date as for when they're getting the things to the veterans. Do you know anything more about that?
It's on Veterans Day, and the last time I had messaged Donna, she was still putting the stuff together. So what I can do is I'll contact her and get details, and I can post it on the Women's Club Facebook page.
Excellent. And if you can get that to Jeff, he can post it on the town council website too.
Okay.
Great. Thanks.
I do want to
Excellent.
say, I just want to say thank you very much to the Women's Club, because last year you guys had helped us and actually gave the families that we were sponsoring at the high school, every single family got a bucket as well. So I really appreciate you guys doing that for those families. So thank you. That's just an amazing thing that you guys do.
How many families do you have?
I don't know yet. I don't know who's even working on that yet. I know they'll probably come up with something, but that's usually like right around this time they start thinking about identifying families.
Well, let us know because I'm sure we will have enough.
Thank you. I
And for those of
appreciate
you
that.
who didn't see any of the videos, when Martha says it's a basket, it's actually a huge laundry basket. So it's not just like one of those little baskets. It is huge. So we really put a lot of stuff in there.
Great.
Hey, Martha, Susan, thank you for being here tonight, talking more
welcome.
about the Women's Club and what you do. And
Welcome.
Jennifer, we're going to turn this over to you next. We're going to hear about the Mira Mesa High School Foods and Nutrition Club, which we at the Town Council know a lot about.
So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my student leaders, and they want to talk to you. So I'll let them go.
Hello. Can Mrs. K please share her screen?
Yeah, you should be able to do that.
Okay. I'm hoping that will happen. It's coming. It's coming.
There you go.
There we go. Is that good? Yeah?
Yes.
There we go.
Okay, so hello Town Council. We are Fan Club Plus, a club in Mira Mesa High School where students dedicate themselves to helping out the community by applying our interest in cooking and hospitality. This year, we are joined together with FCCLA, a national leadership organization, which I will let Mrs. K explain to you all.
Oh, okay. So yeah, FCCLA stands for Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. We just registered and we are now a part of this national organization, and all their efforts go into doing things to better their community. So we are the first ones in San Diego Unified School District to be a part of this leadership organization. So we're really excited about that. We have 18 right now that are in the group. And so it's a part of the fan club. So it gets a little complicated. We're the fan club, but we've registered everybody as a part of this FCCLA. So there are certain projects that they want to do and complete by certain timelines. Anyways, I'll let them continue on with their plan.
Well, we're working with FCCLA to work on this project that we will be introducing to you today, which is called the Career or Vacation Fair, with the main goal of assisting and supporting the unemployed and bringing occupational opportunities. Can you please move to the next slide?
Mm-hmm.
So our goal is to help people who have been unemployed and looking for jobs due to COVID, and to aid in finding jobs, and these related resources include vocational colleges, mental and physical health, connections to career resources, which include Somahan areas, and other resources such as restaurants who may or may not accept our proposal. And our target date will be sometime in February, which just depends on the management of our FCCLA. Moving on.
Our event objectives are to contact and work with everyone here, Town Council, to find an open location for where the event will occur, draft letters to businesses that we would like to see at the event, advertise to the rest of the community, and set up booths for these businesses and resources.
So we have two options in mind, one being the Mira Mesa High School parking lot where the farmers market is usually located, and the second being the Red Lobster parking lot. Next page, please.
As far as management goes, this will be organized by Fan Club and FCCLA Region 10 officers and volunteers. We will have a booth worker assistant, someone who will run and manage our booth. We'll make pamphlets and flyers of the restaurants with their booth numbers and contact info, and we'll assign a designated director of communication who will manage the booth, and the distributors and advertisers who will go around and hand out the flyers. We will regulate our volunteers with hours as they sign in and out. And we also want to maybe incorporate a drive-through, which Mrs. K can elaborate more on this.
Yeah, so they actually came up with this plan themselves completely. I mean, this is just amazing. And they wanted to do a drive-through, and I was like, wow, that's a great idea. So what we would do is once we had all of the organizations registered and willing to participate in our event, we would make a flyer that has their contact information and their email with a phone number. And so if somebody didn't want to get out of their car and they just wanted a one-page flyer that has all the information on it, we would have somebody there that would be handing those out. So we thought, well, that's kind of, we don't know what the future is going to bring and what all this is going to look like in February. So if somebody feels uncomfortable getting out of the car, they could literally drive through and get some information.
Okay, so our plan for promotion and advertisement, adults with any connections are encouraged to promote anyone or to promote to anyone who could help or volunteer. This would be like if you have any connections to small businesses or career and job resources. And this would include promoting online and also printing pamphlets and flyers. So for online promotion, Fan Club would promote on our Instagram and Facebook, and it would be really helpful if Mira Mesa Town Council's social media pages also promoted. And this would be able to reach out to more adults and small businesses. Regarding printing pamphlets and flyers, we would ask businesses to promote, such as Starbucks. We could post flyers on their bulletin boards, and also the drive-through for the flyers like Ms. K was explaining, and we could also post flyers on street poles if we're allowed.
With this event, we'll be able to help many people who need occupational support. Thank you for listening, and we appreciate your time.
I will stop sharing now.
Have you approached the D6 Small Business Connect?
We're going to, there's, between the D6, which is a great opportunity. Also, I put on a huge college and career fair every year at Golden Hall myself for about 600 students. So I'm going to pull from some of those resources like Job Corps, some of the vocational and tech colleges. The students are going to do some of the reach out in the community to find out, who might be interested, who might be hiring, if they want to put out applications, or have people go online and apply for positions as well. But we didn't want to just make it a career fair or a college fair, but also have some resources, like they said, for like mental health, physical health. A lot of people are struggling physically, mentally, and financially. So we're trying to cover all the bases on this. And here's my thought, and I'm sorry, we should probably put it in the PowerPoint, and I didn't even think about that, is if you guys have suggestions, just like you just did, Susan, please feel free to email me. Like, oh, I've got a great idea. We should have them there. We should have them there. Please email me and let me know, and I can pass that on to the students as they start to reach out.
Jennifer, thank you. And thank you to the students who've put this together. If you could, go ahead and send over that PowerPoint. I'd love to have you come to the board meeting on Monday, and we can start talking more about making this happen.
Should they, I have it, so is that okay? And I'll just make sure I'm there on Monday. Okay.
That would be excellent. Thank you.
We'll just
Okay.
send it to
Thank
me,
you.
Jennifer. It'll help just with the minutes. And
I'm sorry.
if you'll send it to me, will help me with the minutes and I can actually add a copy of it to it.
That sounds perfect.
Excellent.
And
Great.
Jeff, did you get down the name of our student speakers?
I got Charlene Lorenzo, Leah Pham, and Trista Tran. Was there another one?
No, it was those three. So Charlene is the president. I should have recognized you guys. Trista Tran is the vice president, and Leah Pham is our secretary.
Okay.
Wonderful.
And I think we do want to be, you know, involved in some way with the toy
Mhm.
drive too. So Yvonne, if you do have any information about that, or if you find out it's okay for us to do a drive, let us know.
I found your emails, Jennifer, so I will text you, I will email you as soon as
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys for listening. And thank you girls for coming.
Thank you for being here tonight. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. Our members in good standing all received a ballot to vote for the 5 positions that are open for next year. As you all recall, last year we made a shift. Officers all serve a 2-year term and they were staggered. Half served for 1 year. They're being elected again right now. The others serve a 2-year. They'll be on a ballot next year. So this year we had first vice president, second vice president, newsletter, treasurer, and 2 of the at-large positions open for election. We sent out the ballot. We've gotten 25 responses. And first vice president, Pam Stevens. Second vice president, Brandy Ludwig. Treasurer, Jonathan Lee. Newsletter editor, Renee Schmeideberg. At-large 1, Kanchan. And at-large 2, I believe she's on the call, Danielle Austin is new to the board this year as one of our members at large. So thank you all.
for once, I got all my candidates.
Yay.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you to those of you who have run again. And welcome, Danielle. Glad to have you on the board. You'll receive the email invitation to our board meeting Monday night. We usually have a crossover meeting where everybody gets together and talks about what they do. So we will be doing that as we do with everything else on Zoom. I am looking, and Pam, do we have
Hey, Barry, just a,
candidate rep? Yes.
Are we using Zoom for the board meeting or are we using Blue Jeans
Yes.
again?
You know, we could use Blue Jeans for the board meeting, and I think we'll talk about whether or not to keep Blue Jeans after that. Because
Okay.
we've been using your Zoom account, we might want to go ahead and switch.
I'm happy to send out a Zoom invitation, just
Right.
you know, if I need to do that.
Okay. Yeah, we need to talk about whether we switch to a town council Zoom account or not. So we can do that on Monday night. I don't see, unless I'm missing it, our representative, either June Cutter or a representative from her campaign.
You know, I don't know. I had not been in contact with her. You were the one who was in contact with her, right?
No. Well,
No.
we're moving on. Okay, let's go to the elected officials representatives. I see first, I saw Luis from Chris Cate's office.
Can you hear me, Ray?
We can hear you.
Awesome. Glad to be on the call. Been a bit of a busy day in Mira Mesa. Not sure if you guys saw, we had our annual pumpkin composting event today in Mira Mesa over in the senior center parking lot. So collected a good amount of pumpkins to take over to the landfill to compost. That's our 3rd time doing that event. We've had some great success. So looking forward to hopefully doing that again next year in Mira Mesa again. We were able to join the town council with their blood drive last week. So thank you for the invitation for that, Barry. It was actually my first time donating blood, so glad I was able to support the community for that. And then we were able to do a event with the Women's Club on Saturday to do a drive-through trick-or-treating event with Park and Recreation at Hourglass. I saw easily 100 cars at that event show up. And then our next big event is in December. We're doing our annual Toys for Tots breakfast. It's going to be a little bit different this year. We're doing it at the McDonald's over on Mira Mesa Boulevard by the 805 side and the Sorrento side. So it'll be, you come over, drop off your toy, and get a coupon to go over to that McDonald's afterwards. So still trying to have the event, just going to be a little bit different with the new rules moving forward.
Kind of losing you there.
So Luis, just to clarify that last one, if you can hear us, you drop off toys at the senior center and then go to McDonald's for breakfast?
Yeah, so it's going to be over, we'll get them like basically like a coupon or a voucher to do it. So you come over, drop off your toy, and then get the coupon that way.
But where do you drop off your toy? At
Over at that Sorrento Valley McDonald's.
Okay, at the McDonald's.
Okay.
Yeah, at the McDonald's. Sorry, I should have clarified that.
Right. And so then you get a coupon, and you can use the coupon if you want to go in then if at whatever socially distanced, however many people they allow in, or you can also get it for a takeout to use later on, whichever you want. Is that the idea?
That's the idea, correct, yeah. It's going to be fleshed out a little bit, but that's what we're envisioning.
Yeah.
What was the date, Luis?
That will be on December 12th at 7:30, 8 a.m. Trying to look on the time, but December 12th is the date. It's a Saturday.
Thank you.
Okay. And if you would, go ahead and send that over to us. We'll make sure that we put it out on all of our social media and website.
I will as soon as I get a flyer ready, Barry.
Okay. And thank you for coming over and making your first blood donation with us.
No, it was great, and I didn't pass out, so that's good too.
Okay, thank you, Luis. I see Rob Newson's here from Assemblyman Brian Mainshine's office.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Hey, so just a couple quick updates. The priority has been from the office, from the onset since COVID-19 hit back in March. I would be telling you all fibs if Mira Mesa was not impacted, as well as the surrounding communities with folks, unfortunately, falling on hard times. We, the assembly member early on, when this took place, reappropriated 3 out of our 4 staff members up in our Capitol office. We were the first office, and several of the offices up there, unfortunately, caught on later, but we kind of led by example to reappropriate staff because we knew we were going to need to have as much assistance and help as we could to provide to help our constituents. And as many people know, the system crashed multiple times. The good news is, if you've talked to your friends or neighbors, the system did shut down for 2 weeks. I'm happy to report that we have a brand new, updated EDD system. So the old system, believe it or not, was designed in the 70s. And when it crashed, the only communication the elected offices, the 120 state offices had, was email. So at one point I said, well, let's start a fire out in the parking lot and we can send smoke signals. We might be able to tag team them. But it was just so archaic. And when COVID hit, it just cascaded into a huge tsunami of issues. I am proud to say we collaborated with leadership at EDD to help encourage new logistical issues that they hadn't thought of. They just want to go with status quo. And if you know your assembly member from when he was your council member, he just doesn't kind of go with the flow with things. He kind of tries to find solutions. And so we worked with them and created some new logistical administrative things that we were able to push through to help. And I am pleased to announce that out of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, we are down to 13 people. Our office has 13 people out of 500,000 constituents left that we are still working with to help. And there's a number of things that we have to do. My wife now calls me an EDD expert. So I know more about EDD than anyone should ever know about. But again, that's what we do. You know, when you know, there's a need, and you know, we will be there, and we will do what we can to help, and we will continue to support the constituents of Mira Mesa in helping them, you know, with any of our state agencies. I did share with Barry last week, there are new rules for folks that are seniors with the DMV. There's a lot of online services now that are extended to our seniors. So please, please, please take advantage of that. You know, you don't need to go in. There's a lot of paperwork and documents and things like that that you can now fill out online and submit. And I know a lot of our seniors throughout the district are very concerned about going into a DMV field office. And as we all know, living in Mira Mesa and the surrounding communities, that Poway is the busiest DMV office in San Diego County, bar none. So if there's an opportunity to go online and fill out your paperwork to renew your license or any of your DMV registration documents, please do so. If you have questions, I'm an email, a phone call away. So feel free to share any of my contact information with constituents and or yourselves who need me to follow up, but we'll do anything I can to help you out with any of your DMV needs as we wrap up the 2020 year here in the next few months. And lastly, I did see Tom on the, I have to give Tom a shout out because he made me look like a superhero, because my mother-in-law lives in a house that was built in 1973. She's 84 years old, homebound, and never once did she ever have a snake in her garage. So there was a rattlesnake in her garage. My wife freaked out. My mother-in-law's freaking out. And then I said, I know someone. And my wife says, of course you know somebody who handles rattlesnakes. And it was Tom that came.
She's always had a snake in the house. You.
Yeah, right, exactly. Her son-in-law. But I don't know if you can see the picture, but it was a, I don't know, I think it was like about a 3-foot a red diamondback rattlesnake, which is, it's actually protected. Tom came over. We were all masked up because this was in the heart of COVID and in a community of Poway. And Tom, there was probably what, 10 kids running around wanting to see it, and everybody was asking questions. We were definitely movie stars on my mother-in-law's block. So thank you, Tom. My mother-in-law got me a Christmas present this year, you know. So thank you. So
thanks for the
that's my report.
Thanks for the plug.
Rob, thanks for that. I have the email you sent over with the information on the DMV. We'll be putting that out by social media. And I do have a question for you on EDD. It kind of struck close to home. Are they still running on 1980s IBM mainframe computers?
I think they're older than that. I don't know the exact technology. I do know that we have a new communication tool, a CRM tool that we're using. So, and it is getting more efficient. So I was told, because as we created those patches, which many of our IT, as we know with our telephones, we get those updates. Well, when the federal government came out with those programs, that never existed before, and then they gave them to us to turn on. You know, we had to go through that whole piece. So we had a number of issues that took place and people were impacted. To my knowledge, we are transitioning off of that to a new system. Okay, and we did the same thing with the DMV because that system was older than Windows 98, and it's 2020. So, but yeah, so we're trying our, we're staying on them, and they're just, it was chaos when this whole thing hit, and we just we just, we're not immune. Unfortunately, our office is not immune to tragedy. And unfortunately, 03 fires, 07 fires, 2001, 9/11, shutting down the city. And then, just when we think we have it all figured out, let's throw COVID on top of that. So, yeah.
I was curious because there is a company that reaches out to former programmers who programmed at any time on those old machines. And all they would tell me was that it was a state entity that needed help immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. And it's unacceptable. And a lot of the rhetoric we were getting out of Sacramento was, well, we based staffing, we reappropriated staff from other state departments, and some of these, and then they just started throwing people at the telephones, and then they're trying to direct them to the internet, and the internet's crashing, and their user ID and password's not going through. Sometimes our constituents are upset and frustrated. They type in their social security number wrong, or maybe their employer. We had a number of employers who transposed social security numbers, and when they file their documents and their paperwork, they were not getting anything. And then we try just again, always going to try to do the right thing. I even helped a lady who was going to Miramar College. She had to move home to Texas because that's where her parents were, and she kept calling an email. And some people would say, well, you're not a California constituent. Sometimes you just have to do the right, it's just doing the right thing. It's like, so I had to wake up a couple hours early. So it's 2 hours ahead in Dallas. And then we had to try to figure out how to fax a document. Her parents didn't have a fax machine. So I said, we have to expedite this. So just getting the paperwork and stuff processed. She had worked her years and served here in the state of California, but due to financial reasons, she had to move back home with her parents. And we're always going to just do the right thing and just help our constituents. And, I guess it helped that she went to Miramar College too, because I know where that school's at.
Rob, thank you for everything you're doing. All right, last but definitely not least, Anthony Nguyen is here from Scott Peters' office.
Yep. Hi, everyone. Hope you are doing well. Some updates from both Congress and Scott Peters. So I guess the two biggest thing that's pending right now, obviously, is the COVID-19 relief package and the federal government fiscal year 2021 budget. So the budget has been passed in terms of a stopgap that will go until December 11th. And so the idea is after the Thanksgiving holiday, Congress would resume to figure out that situation. And with regards to COVID-19, I'm sure you all heard on the news that right now it's kind of at the standstill. Hopefully more information in the days and weeks ahead, but it sounds like everything will be taken care of after the election day. There's rumor that maybe they won't look at it until next year, but hopefully Congress can do something before the year ends. For those of you that are on Medicare, do know that right now it's the open enrollment period for Medicare Part D, D as in Delta. That is the prescription drug coverage. So if you want to change your plan or don't like your plan, now's the time to do it. It's going to be between October the 15th and your last day would be December the 7th. And then in terms of healthcare as well, for Cover California, the enrollment period for that started yesterday, so November the 1st, and that will go until January 31st. So if you have any questions about Medicare or Cover California, feel free to give our office a call. We can definitely assist with any questions. And then the other announcement is, I know Barry, I sent the information to you about the Service Academy. So if you know any high school students that want to join the Academy, the application deadline is November 30th. I will include a website link here with more information if folks are interested. And then lastly, we've been getting a lot of calls from people asking about the inauguration tickets. Obviously, right now, we don't know what that's going to look like given COVID-19. But if you are interested in attending the inauguration next year, right now, we're just keeping track of those who are interested. So you can email me your name and your contact information. And as soon as we get more information from DC, we'll reach out to those folks that are interested to let them know what the situation is like. Happy to answer any questions, but I'll include my contact information if you want to reach out to me directly. And Jeff, I will send you everything that I said, so you have that for the minutes too.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, I see we have your link in the chat for anyone who wants that. And we also have the link on COVID resources and the Service Academy nominations. Those are also in the chat. So if anybody's interested, you can pick those up there. We also have the Service Academy information out on our social media. I think we've reached the end of the planned program. Do any of our officers or committees have something they want to announce?
I've got a couple things for planning group. So our last meeting in October, we had both mayoral candidates, Todd Gloria and Barbara Bree, and they gave us some of their opinions on how they would handle community planning. That was a good discussion, and hopefully we told them a few things to remember also if they're elected. Both last month and next month, there was a community survey put out. The survey was to look at different variations on the community plan update. There was a good response to that. About 750 people responded to it. And at our next meeting, which is the third Monday of this, or 2 weeks from today, we will find out how that came out, and the city will come up with some the first cut at the community plan update based on that. Also at our November meeting, we will have an update on the Three Roots project. They're actually planning to start quite soon, and are setting up a sales office down in Carroll Canyon. Just one more thing for people to keep an eye on. There's a major change in the way the city is proposing to do community planning. The program is called Complete Communities, and it has a number of features that concern us somewhat. It changes the way that parks are planned. Currently, there's a population-based acreage requirement. So if you're planning a new community, you try to find a certain number of acres for the expected population. The new plan does away with that. They're focusing more on amenities in the park and less on park acreage. The problem with that is if you don't get park acreage when it's available, you'll never have it. So there's a concern that'll lead to smaller and fewer parks in the future. And then another part of that that's concerning is they're replacing the DIF fees and the FBA fees with a new DIF fee that will not be confined to a particular community, but instead will go into a central pot downtown to be distributed out to the communities according to whatever the city council thinks. So this is very concerning because we, of course, count on our FBA to build the remaining projects that are in our community plan. So our suggestion to Chris Kate is to try to get that program grandfathered for the communities that haven't built out yet. So hopefully that's the way that will work out. But there is a possibility all of our FBA money could disappear and go downtown to be distributed to wherever the city council wants to spend it. So that's a serious concern. That's my report.
Thanks, Jeff. Tom?
The Mira Mesa Assessment District, we just had our meeting this afternoon with over the budget for 2022. And I've emailed Jeff the information and you, so that way it can go online to the website so everybody can see what we authorized for our budget for 2022. Not much in change. We've only increased the amount by the CPI. So really at this point in time, it's basically no change. But we need everybody to go online, look at it, and then in the December meeting, we will vote on it. And hopefully everybody will agree with us, and we will continue on with the next year.
Yeah, and
Thanks, Tom.
it is already on the website, so it's available to look at. And I noticed that it has a comparison to the last 5 years, which is useful in showing
Yes.
how things have changed or not changed.
Right.
Very good.
And we'll be including a link when we send out notice to the membership so that they know it's out there.
Thank you.
Does any other committee member have an announcement? Pam?
Okay. Well, my usual Penasquitos Canyon announcement, we haven't had a meeting of the Citizens Advisory Committee lately, but I will say that Jeff and I took a marvelous hike this morning on the north side of Penasquitos Creek, going in from the park that is off of Park Village Road on the north side of the creek, and hiking to the waterfalls and back. And the waterfalls are beautiful, and it's really a great hike that goes in and out of the trees. So I encourage anybody who wants to venture into our neighborhood backyard to do that, either from the Mira Mesa side or the Penasquitos side. And then I'll put on my hat for the Mira Mesa Library. As a lot of you know, I work as a librarian in University City, but I'm a volunteer at the Mira Mesa Library as a facilitator for the book group called the Banned Book Club, because we often read books that have been banned or challenged. We just did Edgar Allan Poe. In November, we are going to be discussing a book that has been challenged ever since it was published in 1962. It is A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. And that is a science fiction book geared for older children, but complicated enough that it's of interest to adults too. We're an adult book group, but we're looking forward to reading that and possibly comparing and contrasting the book with the movie that came out a couple years ago. So that meets the last Tuesday of the month, which in November it's the 4th Tuesday. It's the Tuesday of Thanksgiving week.
Pam, why is that a banned book?
Because especially because it was written as a children's book, people thought, ooh, there are sorceresses in it, witchcraft. I think there was, I mean, it's a science fiction book. It's not really a fantasy book like Harry Potter, but it was challenged for some of the same reasons as Harry Potter has been challenged. People did not want some of those ideas being presented to kids. Often, anytime people think something is a dangerous idea, there's a call for taking it off the bookshelves in the libraries, or especially in the schools.
That sounds like Nazi thinking.
That's why we like to read bad books.
So you did have a nap. Oh, jeez, look at that.
All right. Anyone else? Or are we ready to call it an evening?
What?
Yeah. It's like his head is down. I have to say something.
Yes.
About the newsletter, that we have been adding some creativity in the newsletter. So
I don't have my picture.
if has some feedback, what they want to see in our newsletter, they are welcome to email us. And if you have any ideas or you have to submit any article, you are welcome and email us. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, Kanchan. All right. Any other committee reports? Hearing none,
Athletic one yet?
we'll go ahead. Hello? I think that's just feedback from someone. Okay, hearing no more reports, we're going to call it an evening. Thank you everyone for being here tonight, and we'll see you in a month.
Thank you for joining the meeting, dear.
Have a good night.
Night.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Who's that?
That's Ted Ringo.